Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Pillars of Eternity. My name is Devil Syringe. Thank you for coming to see this episode. If you like the videos that I'm posting, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tick that notification bell so you know when my videos go live for you. This episode, we're gonna do Eddar's quest. And I was looking before I recorded this episode. There's more missions to do with the dozen because my rep is not as good as the Crucible Knight is. I'm I'm a hero in the Crucible Knights. Here, I'll show you. Crucible Knights, I'm a champion, overwhelmingly good. And then you see the dozens, I'm faintly mixed, so they don't really trust me as much. And I have a feeling that there's some story with the group that we first saw at the dozens that we need to look at that. We did that in the last episode. Yeah. See? Yeah, I want to know. I want to know about that. The lighthouse. But we restored Heritage Hill last episode. We saved a little girl. So I think since we're a hero now, we should be able to know what the hell happened to Eddar's brother. Who he fought for, what side. So that's what we'll do in this episode. Maybe try to uncover the lighthouse. If anything, I may have to look it up. How to start that quest.
How do you do?
Word of increases, blah blah blah, seems like folks. Of course, that policy is for general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. He looks up at the shelf, withdraws a thick volume, shifting a layer of dust aside with his hand. The rosters are in front of you, the inventories of the dead in back. He passes it into Eddar's outstretched hand. Eddar leafs through the book for some time anxiously, running his thick farmhand fingers over page after page of names. At last, his hand stops, his finger just below one name.
Woden Talesh died 18 Majavernho 2808. Third Battle of Cleaban Relog. Blazing Glonfather names, I swear. Rayet Saris? I'll be the effigy. He fought for Rayet Saris. Why'd he fight for Rayet Saris?
I'm sure he had a good reason. I am too.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clea... the one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw. And who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. I mean, worth trying, right?
I'll help you any way I can.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
Oh, thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. St. War's Battlefield. Can we find out where the St. War Battlefield is? Oh. We have to go here. And then that's the DLC right there. Burial Isle. Okay. Alright. So we did that. Okay. Oh, quest. It was what this. We gotta find someone to talk to about that. Siege at Craighold. I do the endless path. Clibon Rilag? He wants to see the battlefield. Alright, so we did that. Man who waits. Find the place of misery and madness. Where would misery and madness be? I feel like it's in Defiance Bay. Where are the mad kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here that takes them in is Blackenberg Sanitarium. I've heard they can treat your soul there, take the madness away, but there's just as many stories coming out of that place that'll chill your blood. There's a man, if you want to call him that, Elthenmore. Ethelmore. He's head warden. If you're visiting or checking yourself in, he's the one to talk to. Thank you. So it's 2 reasons to go there now. Okay, let us head that way. What is this? What the well holds added a quest. Got 2 days left. Expires in 2 days. I don't have any. What else would I get? 25% experience, swaddling sheet. That sucks. Oh, expire. I may be able to send our druid to that, or sign a loth to that. I'm not sure. But we have to go now.
Next time we get the chance, I'm buying you a pint. That means a lot, Adair. Oh, do you want one too? Sorry, I meant for Isselmere. I'll get you one too.
Okay. Don't need to talk to you. Who are you? Head Warden Ethelmer, a well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man, presides over a room, looking down unblinkingly over the bustle of Herod academics, pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I'm envious of your natural insight, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to this sanitarium? You may have a member of the Laden Key in your midst. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affair. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they'd meddle or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They're a nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Laden Key as well, I take it. They have something I need. I hope it isn't knowledge you seek. They seldom keen to part with it. Do you have any idea who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. I would be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. Very well, in that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancer. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? Head Warden Althamar is an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belsage. Curious on how you've become to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely, all the experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles beyond our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on the part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I'm grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept than they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of the animancers will humor me and console over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Okay, so we have to go downstairs. Did not know that there were stairs here. Who's this dude? Oh, he's just a teacher. There's stairs? Where's the stairs? There. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't like how I have to discover this area, so I'll save. I'm just gonna leave that alone. That was weird. Hey, there's that dude. Okay, a Faraday cage. Sanctum guards. Another Faraday cage. This is like a torture. Ripley.
I'll give it a try, as requested.
Okay, gotta talk to this dude, I guess.
Welcome.
Here I am looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kin standing in front of me. What can I do? I'm looking for an expert on awakening. That would be me, though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer animancy success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to perceive reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. Who is it? I don't know about this. Oh god. Don't be silly. This process is perfectly harmless. All you have to do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon. I jest. Now you guys are all so uptight. I don't even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. So, I need you to sit here and try to relax, but do not try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. Now I'll examine your soul through my scope. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isamir more? I like that lady. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Very well. To begin, tell me something personal, something from time before your awakening. Nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in Sithwood. He looks at you, his face is set in a frown, but a rigid edge of appreciation shows through nevertheless. What do you remember about your home? As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mist of your own memory. Belledge doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are soothing his essence, untangling its many threads. His eyes close, comfortable, modest, quiet when Mother is away, which is most of the time, quiet enough to hear the clink of glass on wood. And this is when I know to be most careful. Father is good about hiding the bottles. When Mother, when she is home, is good at pretending not to notice them. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had troubling casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I was sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with flesh polish, thud across the floor. He kicked me in my stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreated until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. He's hypnotized himself with an old memory. You've got to bring him out of it quickly. I almost have it. You're safe. Everything's fine. He's near safe when I hap upon him. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something's spreading and congealing. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Crackling bones and voices high in ear. The warm molasses feeling that chips down your gut when crisis is nigh. We have flares of total distinct essence. Now try to get the two of them talking. Allah, tell Isamir what she's doing. Sticking weed, worming parasite. Ye'd say the same to your own kindling twig when it betrays ye. Must be hard to avoid knowing there's a lady in your body the whole time judging you. Good, yes, very good. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. Go on. Aloth, what is this about ceding space to Isamir? I've given her nothing. She surrupts me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. Ye should ask what I did with old man of his, how the last time he laid his hand on us, I break it in 3 places. It wasn't your decision. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I was awakening, but now I am stuck with ye, and damned if I let your ninningly drag us through the sculptor. Very good. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I tracked Isamir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particular high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize more clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right, around the spleen, which of course means she's triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristics melancholy is to blame. That's utter horseshit. It does seem as though she's got one thing right. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. Ishimir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. I suppose that could be true. I'll have to check this against other research. Well, and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Ismir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face problems on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. My thoughts exactly. I'll have to be more careful about her from now on. I got a lot to progress. Regardless, thank you for your help. Well, I hope this has been as useful to you as it's been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. It will be the Toast of Revua Fonte Aloth. I advancing the right wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. Fair enough, but do it quietly. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Okay. We helped Aloth. There was something I also had to do here. Right? There's something I had to do here. And this path. But there was. Ah, okay. So this is part of the main mission. Alright, so the dude I'm looking for.
Hello.
Just looking around. I'm gonna look at his chest. You know what I mean. In the corner of Mordred slab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Examine the trunk more closely. Lack of dust on the trunk's surface and the long scratches on the tile floor suggest that the trunk is frequently used and moved throughout the laboratory despite its considerable size. Deep yet narrow gouges score the wood at the edges of the trunk that look like claw marks. Open. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It is too sturdy to break, and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find the key. Okay, we gotta find this dude's key. Can I ask him about the trunk?
Hail and well met.
What are you working on? With a witch? Hellborn who receives a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of the Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. And despite the controversy, it only went as so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. The complications don't begin until puberty. But that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we paid dearly for our mistakes, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. Why do you study witch? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could have been healed, the lives that could have been restored. What could be more important? Animancy is the answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. Good? Just looking around. Okay. Okay, so he didn't help us.
Welcome.
Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. If there's anything else... Okay, farewell. Edge of the cage are dented and scored with claw marks. Oh, great. Talk to this guy. If we gotta look for a key for that. Alright. Talk to everyone. There's that weird chest. Alright, so let's go talk to the statue again. Because Azo's not in his office. It should be over here.
Hail, traveler!
I found records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Caden Azo is in charge of the patient's welfare now. He is not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caden. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient's ward. I've granted you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I for one am curious as what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Okay. Investigates the patient's ward. Let me guess. Go back to that locked room with the guards. At least that's my guess. What do you know about this Animancer Azio? Oh, I like him very much. My Animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments, but Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You could tell he does this to help people. He helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What happened to Azo? I don't like to talk about it, but there was this accident. He said to be the one of the he was said to be the one of the brightest in Deerwood. That his reputation here and that he was brought it brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try to solve the legacy, but that's hogwash. Even if he was a bit of a showman, he loves his homeland and he thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work. Suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. He had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hallowborn into something easier to love and care for. God knows. That's something we need. Do you know what they called those empty little babies on Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Anyways, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copper Lane. He was so excited. And then the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard, and he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Do you know where I can find him? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Have any of the patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batix, Tixa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Eldman, who they say only has half a soul, and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo lets us know that a number of the patients in the North Ward had volunteered for new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive payment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham. I see them talking or taking in the most. Tacking in the most. He struggles, but he's always was a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North World? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I'd ever seen the guards allow a visitor just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Okay. Just straight up chicken there. Okay. Okay. So his office should be over here then. Flesh construct. Okay. No speak. Okay. Jeez. What the hell is going on? Oh, you're a patient. I'm gonna just leave you alone.
I can do that. As requested. I can do that. As requested.
Did our girl just get new armor? Compare. Let's see here. Doesn't do much. Oh, what is this? Scepter. Don't you rock a scepter, my dude? You do. You rock this scepter now. Okay. F5. Let's talk to him. Round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Um... Elthamore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Elthamore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let let that sway me. If Animancy had followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willful, ignorant as them. We would know nothing but life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. I never thought I'd find myself in agreement with a statue, but Elthamore's right about this fellow at least. How easily ambitious masquerades as prudence. I'll bet he's fooled even himself. You're right about that much. There are certain questions that have to be asked. Nah, no, you toy with things beyond your comprehension. It's dangerous and foolish.
Are you from Rayed Ceres? Are you Widewen himself, risen to smite me for my heretical belief in learning who I am and why I exist? Please. You are afraid because men have taught you to be afraid. Because they were taught to be afraid. These things are only beyond our comprehension because of the fears of people like you. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have. Yes, no point of lying about it. Now that Elthamir's involved, I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifice would mean something. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. Your forehead seems damp all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with Head Warden.
You smug cretin. How dare you come down here and meddle? You have no idea the importance of my research.
He balls up a fist and digs his teeth into his index finger, a growl simmering beneath his breath, and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
Farewell. Alright, we got the key to that door, I believe. Or the one over here. Save. Enter.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets. Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
The animancers are mad as their patients. But if all were treated like this sanitarium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many who come here and are cured of their ills, people who would otherwise be cast aside. Here's the source of all knowledge you were giddy about. It is one thing to be told as much, another to see it for yourself. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws at the soul. Stop being a little bitch. A willowy boy stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead and occasionally blinks. His only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. Reach out. Close your eyes, the edge forward toward the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden molasses comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is a wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to react, and you already feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You're standing in the cell now, the same cell in this sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone arch. It makes its usual rounds, the same stop every time. The misbegotten child of despondent creator. When the construct is closed, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, you can feel the strength from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem shell and overtake the soul's implant within, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in his new vessel. You are strong again. You step heavy foot down corridors, unheeded by the other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrusted eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books, scribbled paper, and perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hand upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires, unsettling alignment. Your surroundings are pulled past you, and perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into a place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of amphitheater. You're acting for a crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rotten-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tempered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and spacious. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with the emphasis worthy of a hero's entrance. Bear witness, he says, and he pulls the lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and the bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow, but the crowd apprehension quickly gives way to awe as the crystal globe fills with radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens the valve, and the glow crawls through the tube along a length of copper wire that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpit. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look like people would expect it look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark. The man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obviously hesitation in his voice. Slowly you take a plodding step forward, then another and another. You look up at the man, giving him an eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable of, and the crowd gasps. The man looks revealed. "How do you feel?" he asked at the volume meant for the crowd. And this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe and its shadow streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down into the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd. And by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you departed the corpse in search for another unsuspected host who can put their faith in animancy now. You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper, past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots behind mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, a tall device encasing an Audra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back into reality, and once canatotic boy in the cell, looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistake now that it is the soul of a man who caused your awakening, that gazes out from the borrowed husks, a watcher. You made me into a watcher. I need you to undo it. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems, for that moment, that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look, your hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It disrupts your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backwards with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. Oh, great. Fantastic.
Grave does me not.
I need you to do your thing there. I need you to do that. I need you to do this thing. I need you to drop a pillar right there. I need you to attack him. Actually, can you? I need you to do.
Stand still!
Dead on.
you to heal my boy. I need you to do this.
That's it!
Okay. Oh my goodness. Rite of Rocking Shadows. Okay. Great.
Huh?
Alright. Look at all of this. Well, oh.
Brave thou feel.
What? Let's burn this away! Fine.
Yeah. Huh?
Alright.
Let's go!
Alright, let's go talk to our buddy here. See if he's still here. What have you done? I don't have time for this. Okay. Oh.
Brave thou feel.
Dead on!
Look around here, make sure there's no one else to sneak up behind us. Attack him.
Brave thou feel.
That's it!
Brave thou feel. I have them!
Let's go! Let's go!
Dead on!
Let's go!
Brave thou feel.
Alright, let's go this way. Oh, we didn't go through here. I'm taking everything, I don't care. Going through all this. Alright, to here. Can I still work on the box? Examine. Open. Whatever, I didn't mean to. Yeah, get out of here. Run! He's like, bye. Well, this one's gonna be a very long one. Alright, over here. What the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. I had things under control until I had to kill the Laden Key spy, at which point he possessed flesh constructs. I have read accounts of people in history who could do that you described. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be some real use of our time of need. I fear that the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Azo? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? Azo was only trying to help the patients. Letting Key took advantage of him. I should have known better than to isolate him. Of course, he would resort to deception. The wiser thing would be to allow his experiments with close oversight, of course. A mind like his must be allowed a chance to create. My goodness. He has the ability to possess those with weak souls and was using one of the patients to influence research. Okay, cool. So is that one over? Oh, okay. So we finished that one. So we finished a lot of a lot of things today. Oh, our buddy leveled up. So that means we're all getting close to leveling up. That's awesome. And then we can start the new got a messenger. We can start a new the new DLC. I shouldn't say new. It's not. It's an old game. The first DLC, I should say. But if you liked this video and you stuck around for an hour, I appreciate this. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button. Comment down below what your favorite part of this episode was, and I will read them and respond. Also, if you liked what you see and want to see more of this, make sure you subscribe. Tick that notification bell so you know when my videos go live for you. Well, anyways, this episode's been going on way too long. My name is Devil Syringe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.